when you shop for summer clothes. Think pink, pink, pink if you want that kelp that shows. Red is dead, blue is through, green's obscene, brown's taboo, and there is not the slightest excuse for plum abuse or chartreuse. Think pink.
G'day gorgeous. So it's been weeks since I've spoken to you, mainly just because I've had so much going on I can't even begin to even explain. And then every time it seemed like I was going to set up the camera, it was raining or it was dark or something craziness happened. But I wanted to talk to you about finances today because as you may or may not be aware, I'm planning my book launch for November. So I've been crazy trying to, deal with all of this stuff with editors and all sorts of things. But one of the chapters that I refer to quite a bit when I'm talking to people about, what the book's about, I talk about financial management for women. And one of the things that I have real frustration with as an independent, self-employed business owner, entrepreneur, who's a single woman, essentially, is that I often find that banks don't think I have any real value. And I find this extremely frustrating. And I just had an incident with the NAB. For those of you who aren't in Australia, you won't know what the NAB is, but it doesn't really matter. Just imagine big banks. In Australia, we talk about the big four. And 5 months of this person promising that all of these things would get sorted out. And, even to the point where about nearly 3 weeks ago now, on the Friday, I was being given, yes, this is all going to go ahead as agreed. And then on the Monday, I get an email after I'd finished working with clients that day. I get an email in my inbox, no real preliminaries, just saying, we changed our mind about the way that we want to do this. So we're still going to do it, but we're going to do it in these two components, and one being the mortgage and one being a personal loan. And the personal loan component, we think, you're a bit risky, even though they didn't say that. So, your partner, so I've talked about my partner of 9 months, right? Your partner can go guarantor for you. Guarantor. I have not had a guarantor since I was 17 years old for my very first car. And I was livid, to say the least. I think there were a few expletives. Maybe my hair curled a little bit. And I let them know in no uncertain terms. I calmed down first, waited till the next day. It's always good to do that. Take a breather. Because actually the justification, they didn't even explain why they wanted to do it that way, right? There was not really an explanation, just, we decided. Well, the royal we doesn't get to determine how I manage my finances. What I decide to do with my money is really none of their business. And it had nothing to do with payability, okay? So this is not financial risk stuff in terms of I can't afford to pay. It's not true. In fact, the payability is not an issue. They just seemed to make a determination that said they thought I should do my consolidation in a different way than what we had agreed. Now, please remember, I have been dealing with these people trying to resolve this because of end of financial year and all of that for 5 months. So, my immediate solution, find a new bank. And, I was tempted to walk away from the big four because, quite frankly, I have never found that they're very supportive of women. And I have said on multiple occasions, there are 2 of our major 4 banks, so the ANZ and the Commonwealth Bank, that both have a focus on women. But the ANZ's approach is always very, it's more at the lower end. They make the assumption that, as the nurturers of our children and all of that, that our financial needs in our general sort of life are less, and they look at lower end superannuation products and life insurance and a number of other things, but they don't really look to empower women. Now, the Commonwealth Bank, on the other hand, they have a program called Women in Focus, which is very specifically supporting things like business chicks, right? So I'm like, let's see if the Commonwealth Bank will put their money where their mouth is, because who else should support women in business, right, except women who say they're supportive in a big corporate that says they're supportive of women in business who actually support women in business. I've been to a number of their lunches. I've talked to some of their senior management, and they're all nice people. Hey, I used to work for the Commonwealth Bank years ago. But were they really going to come through? Well, I had a conversation with a number of people at my local branch, just gone in through the phone centre, and was put in touch with what they call a business personal lender. So this is somebody who specialises in assessing my personal lending needs, but has a business background or an understanding of business. Well, when I was able to have a conversation about what had happened for the 5 months before with the NAB, with this particular woman, it was just amazing. There were light bulb moments going off all around. When I explained to her my frustration with what had happened with the NAB process, she gasped in all the right places, which was really good, because let me tell you, the whole attitude and approach to it was quite ridiculous. And in the end, she was able to come back to me and say, actually, Kerry, there's no reason that we can't do all of this and more, right? So let me just say, probably a third as much again, so where the NAB was saying, oh no, we want to separate this. This person's going, no, your payability actually puts you up to borrow this much. And I'm going, I don't need that much. So I just wanted to consolidate, right? For a number of different reasons. It's easier for me to do that. Helps me manage my finances. And I want a new bank that's going to take over my business accounts and all my personal stuff and kind of let me roll into one. I don't want to have to kind of, play here and there with everybody all the time. So, not only did they actually assess everything and come up and say, actually, you're in a much better position and this is all fine, but they've been really, really supportive just in general. When I talked about things like frustration, because I just moved all of my accounts from St. George to NAB when the NAB said, we'll do it, but how about you move your business accounts to us and then we'll reassess in 3 months. And I'm saying to them, I don't want to do that again. I don't want to be led down the garden path on a false promise for another 5 months. So no, none of that. They have a business person, like some sort of business transition specialist that gets assigned to me to actually move all of my business accounts across, and I don't have to do all of that setup and frustration like I had to do before. So I'm thinking, awesome, this is really good. Actually, maybe, just maybe, although don't count your chickens before they hatch, but maybe there is a bank who's very supportive of women in business that actually will put their money where their mouth is. Anyway, I wish to absolutely maintain my financial independence. After all, I haven't got this far being reliant on a man, and there's no reason that I should ever have to be reliant on a man. It's a little bit different if I choose to kind of co-commit myself with a man to something that I wish to do and we wish to do that together, but it's a very big difference for anybody to ever tell me that I actually need a man to give me value in this world. So that's what the NAB did, which is why their history written off, never ever again to be considered even, and it's a bit sad really. Must give kudos, though, to the young man who was doing all of this work with me over 5 months. When I gave him exactly what I thought via email, he rang me to apologise. So I then told him again over the phone exactly my concerns and what I thought the problem was, and advised him to learn from the mistake, because that's what we should all do, right? Learn from our mistakes. All right, that might be a one hard learnt on his part, but hopefully he'll remember. And next time he speaks to a strong, empowered woman who, manages her own business and, has built an asset base without his help in the past and without the help from any man really, maybe he'll stop and think twice before he even considers whether somebody else should actually have to give me some level of kudos in the world of finance. Okay, so I was trying not to make it a rant, trying to highlight the benefits of maintaining your independence as a woman and taking charge of your own finances. That's what I think that we're going to do here, and I'm really glad that you're still hanging with me. All right, gorgeous. I hope that was helpful. See you soon.
Pink for cheeks and pink at your lips, pink for shirts and all of your slips, just a touch of pink at your knees, and if you please,
What?